Hi, I'm Rob. I have brick and mouth syndrome, and download news is happening. We're getting news on it. That's great. We have maps. They've technically leaked. Leak is very loose terms. The RIP map got emailed out to the RIP goers, and they have generously shared it with the rest of us because us poor plebs don't get a map. Access have got a map. They have shared it with the rest of us, which is very nice of them. So we're able to compare those, and thanks to someone on Reddit, they have overlaid some of this stuff onto a Google map so we can properly sort of figure out topography of everything and how bad the camps are going to be, where the slopey bits are. It's purple camp again. And sort of try and break down and figure out the walk distances and everything else as I'm filming this. The girlfriend wakes up. So we can fully break down the topography of where things are and sort of figure out where to camp, how long the distances to walk between places will be, try and figure out some way of making things a bit easier. The main takeaway so far is these maps are not final. So it is still up in the air. No one quite knows for sure yet. Could change. Quite unlikely though, because everything's sort of matching and makes sense. And especially with the access stuff, I doubt they can move that stuff so late into the game. They've got to have planned around it, because there were so many mistakes last year. So let's see what's moved, where entrances are first, and figure out where we're going to turn up on the day. First major thing is the transport hub has moved. It is no longer on the south side, it is up by north and east car park, which is an interesting choice. I'm not quite sure how the vehicle's going to get there, but we'll see. We'll see. Don't quite get how a coach is going to go across a field, but it might just be how the map is designed at the moment. It may be that you're on a bit of the track first. I don't know. But yeah, that is technically within East Car Park, the entrance and the drop-off bit, so that's kind of cool. Because it seems down where the transport hub and the previous entrance was, is where Guest Car Park is, and a west entrance. There is a west entrance, but that does seem to be mostly for the guest campsite and guest car parking. It is not seeming to be that even RIP can go there, as they still have their own entrance, which is where it's been previously, where I wasn't able to get to last year. So the main one's moved, everything shifted a little bit, but it does sort of make sense. Hopefully they know what they're doing. They did say there was going to be a big move up this year because of how the transport situation was a fucking disaster last year. So let's see. Let's hope this works out, and it should all be good. Now, with this west car park, it does seem that it would be for guests. It does also seem that there's a possibility it would be for yellow, which is the quiet camping this year, the blue campsite and the black campsite. It does make sense that that car park would also be for the yellow, quiet, black and blue, as they are closest. I can't imagine that they would then try and shuffle people over the far end to the red campsite, which is right by the east entrance. Very interesting so far. Circular, Eco Camping and Camping Plus are now top of District X, just above the Dogtooth stage, where we also have the green campsite. Having the coloured campsites there makes absolutely no difference so far, and realistically, the campsites being where they are doesn't really make much difference. We just need to know what's going on with the parking situation. As they've said previously, there would be sort of designated parking, but no one can pre-choose realistically their campsites, as could turn up and they could be full. helpful. Purple Camp is where it's always been now, which is right by the castle, so that hasn't moved, and that's got a lovely hill dip right through the middle of it. If you're there early and you're going on the roadway, you're sorted, but if you end up right at the back, near the castle, good luck. Red Campsite's Red Campsite, that is right by the east entrance and the transport hub, so I'm assuming that'll fill up quite quickly. Orange is in a weird position where it'll be handy as it'll be a decent stop off, but I believe that is on another weird sort of hill situation, so we'll see what happens with that one. Half decent sort of middle ground between arena distance and District X distance, but it's still not ideal if you want to partake in late night activities. Personally, I believe Purple Camp closest to Camping Plus would be the absolute best middle ground if you wanted a decent night's sleep but still wanted to partake in everything the festival has to offer. Now, Tory Camp, RIP guys, what are you Tories up to this year? Your campsite has moved a little bit. It has shifted a little bit more to the west, so tough titties. That has had to make room for accessible camping, which is now right on the edge of the arena, where it should have always been, not stuck up in the middle of the track, so, oh yeah, they're on power wheelchairs, they can just timmy their way down. Fuck off. Not cool. So that's had to move. Which is, honestly, a lot better of an idea, and I'm glad they've done it. RIP still have the perks of being close enough, but they have had to accommodate people that probably deserve it a bit more, not because they've had to pay, but because life's fucking hard for them. Ready to Rock is where Ready to Rock has been the past couple of years. No change there, not going to go too deep into it, let's move on. Caravan and camper vans. You guys have got your entrance quite plain and simple, which is nice, that hasn't moved too much. The Caravan Plus guys, you, I believe, have moved a little bit. I'm not sure Caravan Plus was an option before, but I could be wrong. It's not a ticket I look for. Motorbike boy, doesn't bother me too much. So you guys have had your entrance sort of shifted a bit, or invented this year, and it's not bad. That is now the Blue Gate, as Green Gate is for the regular camper van caravans. Cool. Into District X, there's some stuff here that we have to pay attention to. Not only is the doghouse there, as it should be, we have the 3 new little things, and one of them is just a rename of an old one now. So, doghouse is at the top where it should be, fantastic. I'm assuming where the second stage in District X was last year, we now have the Den, which would just be a renaming of the comedy tent and where the kiddies went to go have their kiddie rock thing in the morning. We also have the Ace of Spades bar, which is obviously the Lemmy themed bar, which is sounding quite interesting with what they have on offer. There's some events in there as well. Go check the app as it has been updated for things that you want to go do in there. And we have the Outpost, this brand new stage that offers survival skills stuff, training and seminars. It's a weird one. It's kind of interesting, but it's also a weird one. I don't know if they're trying to attract a bunch of survivalists and they're thinking the world's going to go feral, or if they're just planning for a lot of people to turn up in Fallout costumes this year. I can imagine a lot of Vault boys and girls everywhere. But hey, who knows, it's just an easy spray paint your Slipknot jumpsuit blue and gold and hope for the best. So those 3 stages are in there. That's kind of dope, kind of cool. It's nice that they haven't tried to expand more in the arena. They're giving a lot more for the campers, for us to do stuff outside of arena time. A lot of people were complaining about that last year, but generally I just think last year was a complete shit show with not much forethought gone into it, and it's just a bit of a cash grab. But we all thought that really. So those are our main takeaways from at least the RIP map, and there's not much else really to show there. With the accessibility map, they really do go more into the accessibility options, so people can see what there is and what facilities they're trying to provide this year should hopefully be like. There is a big key on this map, and they're also logging the distances between things, which I think is amazing. So people can actually plan out if they have mobility issues and they're using walkers, or they just have very limited mobility and walking distances suck for them, they can actually plan out distances, stopping time, everything on there. That is brilliant. It really does seem like they're trying this year, and I hope they don't let anyone down. I really hope they don't. Oh, I didn't notice that. On both of these maps, on their key, they do have where merch is going to be, where the merch megastore is going to be, and where the co-op is. The megastore and co-op are where they were last year, which is great. Those guys have announced some stuff that's coming out as well. The co-op deals, genuinely quite good. I'm not saying because I used to work for the company, genuinely quite good. £5.50 for a meal deal, while it's not Tesco meal deal prices, co-op meal deal is £5. Extra 50p, not that bad. As far as markup goes for a festival, co-op aren't doing us too dirty. Their Red Bull multi-pack deal, people seem to be going a bit mental for. So do not expect those Red Bulls to hang around for long, and people will be getting their co-op member card, which is only £1. Get your Divvy card, get your Divvy card. These deals will go. They are honouring the co-op card at the festival. Deals will go. They are very good for festival prices. Is what it is. I will probably see people in there at 3 AM as I grab an ice cream before I go back to bed, or to get incredibly wrecked before going to sleep. All of these maps I stole from the download Reddit board. There's a lot on there, there's a lot of information. Even the not quite complete, not quite fully filled in map that was overlaid on Google, it's very good, but it's not full. Some of the info on there is wrong, some things are in the wrong place. I think it's because there wasn't a mention of them on the other maps, but I could be wrong. This is the maps, this is what we have so far. I believe I've covered everything that people will be asking for, as I've gone over everything I've been asked for on TikTok, and that's what we know so far. It's going to be good. We've got less than a month to go. Officially it is less than, as of filming this, we have 20 days remaining, so it's best we get this information out there and we try helping each other. So see you next week. Not quite sure what's coming out then. Didn't know this was going to happen. A lot of overtime. A lot of overtime. I need the money. So, see you when I see you. Have fun. See you in that pit. See you in that field. Woo!